Look up into the night and meet our vast neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy. A soft smudge to the eye, yet a colossal city of stars drawing steadily nearer. Tonight, we ask a disarming question. What does Andromeda reveal about the future of the Milky Way, and, by extension, about us? This quiet journey blends careful astronomy with vivid imagination and gentle reflection. We will follow measured motions across the dark, picture the sky of far tomorrow, and consider what great mergers mean for worlds and for meaning. Settle in, breathe slowly, and let curiosity open like a window. Andromeda is the nearest great spiral companion to our Milky Way, a vast disk threaded with lanes of dust, a bright central bulge, and a gauzy halo of old stars. To the unaided eye, it looks like a soft cloud in the constellation that bears its name, not because it is small, but because its light is spread thin across the sky. Our night vision favors contrast over color, so its spiral beauty hides in plain sight. Astronomers treat it as a natural laboratory for how giant galaxies live and change, a mirror held up to our own system of stars and worlds. We know where it sits in the architecture around us. Within the local group, a small community of galaxies bound together by gravity, itself tucked inside the broader flow of the Laniakea supercluster. Star streams and faint shells around Andromeda reveal past minor mergers, hints that growth by swallowing smaller neighbors is common. Its halo reaches far beyond the bright disk, seeded with globular clusters and dark matter, shaping how gas falls in, how stars are born, and how the galaxy will behave when it meets ours. The clearest sign that Andromeda is on the move comes from its blue shift. Spectral lines nudge toward shorter wavelengths show it is coming closer. The Hubble Space Telescope and the Gaia mission have measured a tiny drift across the sky, confirming that the approach is almost head-on, with only a small sideways slide. The estimated closing speed is on the order of a few 100,000 meters each second, roughly 100 or so kilometers per second. In cosmic terms, this is steady and inevitable, a reminder that galaxy collisions are not rare catastrophes, but a normal part of how the universe builds large things. The timeline of our meeting with Andromeda is written in long, patient strokes. After a quiet approach across deep time, the first passage will draw the two disks into one another's tides. The heavens will change slowly at first, a faint smear growing broader, then swelling into a double core that stretches the familiar band of the Milky Way into warped ribbons. After that first sweep, gravity will pull both galaxies onto looping tracks, setting up a second and perhaps a third encounter as the orbits shrink and the dance tightens. What guides this choreography is the shared gravitational field. Each galaxy plows through the other's dark matter halo and stirs a wake, a process known as dynamical friction that robs orbital energy and drains angular momentum. Many body simulations show how this drag turns a wide, glancing path into a closing spiral. The disks tilt, precess, and shed order. Bars may strengthen, rings may ripple outward, and stellar streams unravel like threads from a vast tapestry. With each passage, the galaxies become less separate and more entangled. Along the way, the tides carve luminous bridges and tails, flinging star clusters into space and pulling gas into long arcs that curl like smoke. Where gas is squeezed, new stars ignite in brief bursts, painting knots of blue along shocked lanes. Yet, despite the word collision, stars almost never strike stars. The gulfs between them are far larger than the stars themselves. What truly collides are the great, diffuse components, gas clouds that ram and compress, and halos whose invisible mass drags and slows the dance to its conclusion. At last, the two bright centers sink toward one another and pair up as a supermassive black hole binary, losing energy to low-hum gravitational waves before merging into a single, heavier heart. The remnant galaxy will likely be an enormous, rounded system with a thickened disk and a sprawling halo, sometimes nicknamed Milkdromeda. Star formation will fade as gas is heated and scattered. The sky will settle into a new geometry. From approach to final calm, the full performance spans several billion years, a grand ballet whose steps are slow, inevitable, and oddly serene. In the far future, the night will change by degrees so gentle that generations will not notice until the pattern is unmistakable. The pale cloud of Andromeda will swell, first a broader haze, then a textured oval with hints of spiral lanes. As tides begin to pull on both disks, the Milky Way will warp into graceful ribbons, and a second bright core will rise beside our own. Star streams will drape the sky like gauze. Colors will shift subtly. Pockets of newborn blue stars will sparkle along shocked gas, while older regions keep a warmer, amber glow. During the first grand pass, the heavens will feel vast and near at once. A luminous bridge may arc across the sky, and dark lanes will cut it like calligraphy. Over long ages, the two centers will drift apart and then return for another sweep, each encounter stirring rings and ripples that slowly rearrange the familiar map of constellations. From a dark landscape, the merged vista could cast a hush of extra starlight, almost like permanent thin moonlight. Not harsh, just a steady silver that makes the night read as deeper rather than brighter. For our own system, the dance is more nudge than crash. The sun and its planets are most likely to be steered onto a new, wider path around the combined galaxy, or gently flung toward the outer halo. A close strike between stars remains exceedingly unlikely. The real disturbances are subtle. Distant comet reservoirs may be jostled, sending occasional icy visitors inward. Long before a final merger decides our galactic address, the sun will grow steadily brighter and later swell into a red giant, narrowing the window for life on Earth. In that sense, stellar aging, not the galactic waltz, is the chief author of our fate. The sun is a changing lamp. With age, its light slowly climbs, nudging the temperate band outward and squeezing the margin where liquid water and complex life can persist. Long before any grand meeting of galaxies, Earth will feel this steady turn of the dial. Warmer seas, a sky that holds more heat, a climate that becomes less forgiving. The window for a thriving biosphere narrows, not with a crash, but with a quiet brightening. If a future civilization endures, it may look outward for relief, toward colder orbits, shadowed habitats, or worlds where gentle light still falls within the bounds of comfort. Thinking in star time invites a different kind of planning. Survival may depend less on defending a single planet and more on learning to live across many homes. That could mean gardens under domes on distant rocks, cities sailing in slow circles where sunlight can be tuned, or patient migrations that follow the moving edge of habitability. In this telling, the decisive force is stellar evolution, not the drama of colliding disks. Our fate is written in the physics of fusion at the sun's heart, and our hope is written in the stubborn creativity with which living beings reshape their surroundings. Far away, in the deep core of each galaxy, a heavier story unfolds. The central black hole of Andromeda and the black hole at the center of the Milky Way will spiral together, forming a vast binary that hums with low, rolling gravitational waves. Stars near the pair will be slung outward like sparks. Gas will be heated and stirred, sometimes snuffing new star birth, sometimes feeding brief flares of brilliance. At the end, a single, larger heart will settle at the center of the merged galaxy, and the sky will grow quieter again. It is a fierce chapter written over vast ages, and we will watch it, if we are still here, from whatever homes we have learned to make. After the long embrace, the remnant will not be a tidy spiral, but a broad, rounded giant with a thickened disk and a deep halo. Tidal shells and faint streams will linger like scars, while the bright bar and tight arms of youth give way to smoother light. Star making will slow as gas is heated and blown out. The population will skew older, richer in heavy elements near the core and thinner in the outskirts. Globular clusters will orbit like bees around a hive, and random motion will matter more than graceful rotation. This mature city of stars is what many mergers leave behind. For inhabitants tucked within this new whole, the sky will be beautiful rather than violent. Fewer massive newborn stars means fewer short, furious deaths, and long-lived red dwarfs will carry steady embers through deep time. The central black hole, grown by union, will mostly rest between rare flares. Worlds that circle far from crowded lanes may enjoy quiet eras measured in spans that dwarf history. Survival, if it is to be more than an accident, will come from learning to live with slow change and from spreading life across many harbors instead of guarding only one shore. The lesson is simple and large. Collisions and unions drive the growth of galaxies, just as struggle and joining shape cultures and minds. Our sense of home can expand from a star and its planets to a river of stars, and then to a community of galaxies that move together through dark space. We are small, but we can read the script written in light and gravity, and we can choose responses that honor the scale of the stage. When we lift our eyes, we are looking both outward and forward, seeing in Andromeda the shape of a future that will one day include us. Tonight, we have followed the slow arc of two great islands of stars, not for fear, but to remember what endures. Change is the constant written in every orbit and in every tide of light. We are small within this sweep, yet not powerless. We can read the sky, imagine futures, and prepare with care. When you look up, the pale blur of Andromeda is already a message from tomorrow, a patient promise that unions shape worlds as surely as time shapes thought. Hold that thought gently, breathe, and let the night carry you forward into quiet wonder.